Wait, the last time I heard that song, they were playing it in front of me. Yes, I did go and see Defects Monday, and they were incredible. Once again, welcome along to the Third and Long podcast. I am, of course, the incomparable Shane Harris. Above me is my beautiful baby Hope. Top left is my old boy, or my old buddy, Oliver Butler Henderson, and to my left is Youngblood himself. What's he eating this week? Mr. Philip Perrins. What have you eaten, bud? What have we got today?
What have I had today? I've had a pumpkin spice trifle.
Pumpkin spice trifle. We're in Bedford, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey lad, guess who's back?
Have you beaten that?
Are we talking about Loliver, or are we talking about Slim, or are we talking about Donald J. Trump? Like which one is back? All three?
Yes. Definitely. Or we talk about Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones is back.
We don't. No. Just because he's not the starter anymore in New England, we still call him McCorkle. Okay, he is McCorkle Jones. He's not Mac. Mac makes him sound cool. His name is McCorkle.
Christian McCaffrey is back.
The turn of the original Mac,
which we'll talk about. So, okay, boys, I
got to the news. Wonder why.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've already found out that Mr. P. Roy's been drinking today. Baby, how have your last couple of days been? I haven't spoke to all of you on the show for almost a week. What's going on?
I know, it's quiet.
Not been too bad. Been busy. This thing called work, it's
not. I'm not a fan of it either. I mean, why is work got to be so clingy? It wants to be 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You know what I mean?
I'm only a fan of it once a month.
Yeah, and that's if we can get away with it. OBH, what's been going on then, bud?
You're a fan of work once a month?
Yes, when the money hits my account.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, I get that. I am tired, but I am good, mate.
So does anybody want to hear my experience with the front?
Lovely Beer says, drinking on the job, Mr. P. Tut tut.
This is a hot chocolate with some marshmallows, by the way. So
my boy's very festive.
Yes, Mr. P probably drinks the least of all of us.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's a school night as well.
I mean, yeah, I think it's close between me and Mr. Perrins, who drinks the least.
True.
And then again, Hendo, me and you weren't exactly drinking heavily on Saturday, were we? What was it? Fanta and Coke?
I had a milkshake.
Yeah, you did have a milkshake.
So much every week.
I mean, I haven't drank since the Patriots weekend. I'm going to drink now for another, probably till Christmas. That's how far I go between things. I very rarely drink.
He got a milkshake and asked me why I wasn't drinking.
Go on.
Yeah, well, you walked, I drove. There's a slight difference.
But Lolly B does make a very good point that Fanta is heavy stuff.
Yeah, but he was drinking orange Fanta, so he wasn't even drinking like tropical Fanta or elaborate Fanta, when they have all these different flavors. He was drinking orange.
Boys, I'm not a big drinker, believe it or not. I'm about 5'5". Stop.
That was like a dad level joke.
Well, no comment, not getting involved. So anyway, I love you lot. So what are we starting with this week?
We're starting with Monday Night Football, mate.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that result. I mean, overtime, yes, Chiefs won. Overtime, wasn't expecting that. But did you see Baker's face or reaction when Chiefs won the bloody toss in overtime?
Yes.
Because
at that point, the game was over.
Yeah, I'll just go and sit down and take my helmet off and get ready to shake your hand, mate.
They should have gone for 2. You don't want to take the Chiefs to overtime. You don't want to give Patrick Mahomes a chance to win.
Yeah, but there were so many teams this week that scored the touchdown, and instead of going for the win, they went for 2.
Yeah, like the Patriots.
Yeah, there was 3 teams that went to it. There was 3 matches that went overtime. All of them tied up in the last seconds and could have gone into overtime, could have won it, but they went for the kick instead of it. And it's like,
Lolly's just disagreed with me, saying Mr. Harris with the dad jokes.
No comment. No, nothing.
but yeah, I mean, the game itself, gentlemen, what are we thinking about it?
Yeah, I was surprised, but I thought the Bucks offense would look toothless with their 2 main weapons, but they look good. I mean, Rashad White and Bucky Irving had a good game. Cade Otton went off. And
I mean, Cade Otton is probably most reliable receiver now, isn't it, at the moment? I mean, he's
100%.
yeah, the other receivers, no name 1, no name 2, and no name 3, put up decent numbers. I mean, I can't even remember their names. I think. Can anyone
we
remember
had
their names?
Cade Otton, 77 yards. Sterling Shepard, which I still forget he's still in this league. He had a 48, Trey Palmer, and then you had Raheem Jarrett, and yeah, there wasn't a lot out there. But I mean, Baker only threw for 200 yards. They only went for just under 300 yards. I mean, their passing or their attack in total, Tampa Bay, equaled what Mahomes threw.
He's not exactly living up to his billing this season, is he? But somehow the Chiefs managed to scrape a result every week. They're now 8-0. Boys, I don't know who's going to stop them. And we came within a toe of beating them in the opening night of the season. But other than that, they've looked I don't know, they're just grinding results out. They're like Liverpool, as much as I hate to say it. They just grind results out all the time.
9 is in the Super Bowl.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's just, I don't know what it is.
No, you said who's going to... You said who's going to stop him. I said the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Don't be daft, Lou.
Yeah, but you've got to go through Detroit, so that's not going to happen. It's going to be Buffalo be the first only team to beat them. Look at what Kansas City's remaining 9 fixtures are. Okay, you got Broncos twice, Buffalo, Carolina, Las Vegas, LA. They go to Pittsburgh, which could be a tricky game towards the end of the season. And they've got and they host Texans. The only one I could really see causing a proper upset is when they go to Buffalo in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks' time. Had to try and work out my maths then. And when they go to Steelers on Christmas Day. That's the only 2 games I can really see being a slip up between now and then.
I don't think
they're not playing well. They are not playing well.
Well, boys, you've got there's 2 games on Netflix on Christmas Day, and they're both box office. They're both must watch, considering how far the season's gone. Chiefs and Steelers, and Ravens against a disappointing Texans team.
Yeah, the issue is I'm busy on Christmas Day.
Oh, I ain't. That'll be my day. Box of cans and 2 games of football with my team on. Thank you very much.
I mean, would you say the Texans disappointed when they're 6-3?
Yeah, because you expected more.
CJ Stroud's been disappointed. To answer your question, Lolly, yes, the 2 Christmas Day games are being shown on Netflix this year.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. I will show you how to use it, don't worry.
So, yeah, more about the game. I mean, obviously, they drove down the road. Travis Kelce, when it loads again.
Scored a touchdown.
Actually scored a touchdown.
In front of Taylor Swift.
For the first time this season as well.
Yeah. And Taylor Swift was there.
Oh, who gives a...
You guys need to like Taylor Swift now. Pat McAfee's a fan.
No.
Yeah, he was at the indie concert, wasn't he?
Did you not see the picture? Did you not see the video I put in the chat?
Yeah, he was at the indie concert.
Oh, Pat, no. Too much respect for you.
Yeah. Mahomes 3 touchdowns for the first time this year. It was also the first time that he threw a game-tying touchdown in his career in the 4th quarter.
Who?
Mahomes. That's crazy.
Lolly's just said Taylor Swift is a curse word. Get in the bin.
Good girl. Good girl.
What's wrong with Taylor Swift, people?
The same thing as wrong with Sleep Talk.
Ram down your
Okay.
throat too much, isn't that right, Mr. Perrins?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Is she even awake?
I am. I'm literally getting ready for when we talk about the Raiders and the Saints. I'm literally getting ready to talk about some actual journalism, boys.
Journalist. Love it. He's only been doing this for 3 years.
And I love it how he's live. He's doing it as we're live. Right. Let's roll on to plays of the week of week 10.
Yeah.
The only chance would be the knee if it came down. He has the ball. What a catch. Waiting for that other foot, just doesn't get down. The knee is close. That's what the crowd is reacting to.
What a grab, though. One-handed.
Oh, my gosh. Ridiculous catch.
The play clock is running.
Yeah, that maybe the shin gets down.
Sutton, you're drawing up there at the top. They got a reverse play. Sutton with a throwback pass. Caught at the goal line for the touchdown. And Bo Nix has caught his first NFL touchdown. 61-yard try for the lead. It is. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. Drake May for the game. Padding the ball. May scanning. Loads of time. He'll roll. He'll run. A sidestep. He's ready to throw. Nobody's open. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Oh my goodness. Stevenson.
Out of moves right here. Makes the first guy miss. The spin move at the last second. Bro. And then, what, Tiki? You're right. What is that?
Bro.
Before Baby Hope says anything, yes, I know there's 5 plays, but I could not put that leap in by Saquon Barkley because it is absolutely ridiculous.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was surprised nobody picked it.
And me.
I was, as you know, I was at Hickory's on Sunday, and the people I was with just went, "Did you see that? He turns and then jumps over the guy backwards. He couldn't believe it."
Shado.
Boys, all I can say is 15 seconds. Drake May hung in that pocket for 15 seconds. I know. No, 15 seconds, right? Right. I know that because I had money on the Pats to win. And I was like literally gobsmacked the fact that he got that ball to Ramondre for the game tying touchdown. I mean, yeah, they lost in the end. But 15 seconds is a move where a tackler was coming, he was behind him. And he just juked to the side and he went the other way. Drake May, some talent you got there, but
I know. So that was my play of the week.
Of course, Ollie picked a Patriots play when he bans us from picking Niners plays.
Whoa. That's the first time I've done that. You two went literally every week of picking Niners player or player.
So are we talking about like last season's NFC champions and Super Bowl contenders, the San Francisco 49ers? Okay, cool. The world famous San Francisco 49ers.
As he's talking, talk us why you picked Tyler Bass.
So just before I talk about Tyler Bass, I just want to say, ladies, if you're listening, Big Shane, 15 seconds, okay? He's good at counting 15 seconds. All right.
Allegedly
Shane's favorite Motley Crue song is Too Fast for Love. And he loves Europe's song Final Countdown.
I'll do it.
So Tyler Bass, I love picking things that are very, very left field. And actually, the ball was on the left side of the hash when he kicked 61 yards. He literally kicked the ball from his own half in his own territory and beat the Dolphins. I had to think then. He beat the Dolphins. That is a sensational kick. I would call him Legatron, but that nickname was already taken years ago.
Baby Hope, you took Garrett Wilson, which was, I've heard things of Michael Jordan-esque, I've heard Odell Beckham-esque, I've heard so many different things. superlatives agreeing to this catch.
I
Why do you
mean,
live like that?
Sorry. I forgot the part of the Last Dance where Michael Jordan was playing in the NFL.
You know the Jordan logo.
Oh, yeah, I know, but like that's going forward. Sorry, it's just so when you said, I was like going, I know what you mean, but like you could have said something like, that Dwight Clark or Odell Beckham Jr. like relevant catches, but I digress.
Yeah, you do. I'm just saying. I've heard people describe it as like the Jordan type, when logo-ish. That's why I described it. Anyway,
I mean, it's a catch of the year, possibly the catch of the decade.
Yeah,
he does. I don't know how he manages to get his knee in. I honestly don't. It's an absolutely incredible catch. I mean, I know the Saquon play was incredible, but the Garrett Wilson play is better, in my opinion.
I picked it because it's good.
Yeah, pretty much.
For scientific explanation.
Lolly has said he flew. That's how.
It was incredible. Honestly, God. And led to the Jets beating the Texans as well, which nobody saw coming.
Shano, Bo Nix.
Yes, I picked the Ravens game, but it was against the Ravens. Bo Nix's first catch and touchdown in the NFL. I'm a bit of a fan of the Philly special. Great play, great execution. And it made me feel like we were in for a game in the first quarter. And then the offense just opened fire then on the Broncos and put them to bed. But yeah, that was a fantastic little trick play. Big fan of that. Bo Nix, welcome to the NFL.
I'm just wondering if in the huddle they went Denver, 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 Denver. That doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it?
No, it's not as good, is it? Really, but yeah, it's
I can't hear him. Is it just me?
Ollie's talking to himself because he's unplugged his mic or something.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Yes. No.
Who's taking the reins now?
So should we go? Let's move on to Player of the Week.
Yes.
I've taken Mike Gesicki, the tight end from the Cincinnati Bengals, who had 5 receptions for 100 yards dead and 2 touchdowns. And just to top it all off, he helped them beat the Raiders.
Can you hear me now, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the room.
I'm back, baby. I have no idea. I was doing some bits, and I come back and the mic stopped working, which is really random. Live TV for you, ladies and gentlemen, or recorded podcast, whichever you're listening to. Yeah. So,
so yes,
yeah,
I know he didn't win the poll, so
yeah. Mr. Perrins, you took LJ8, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So I'm just actually trying to get my stats up because I tried. So I'm just gonna store I'm just gonna store for a second.
Sure, this would help. Perfect passer rating.
Perfect passer rating. Yes, he had a perfect pass. I literally can't get my notes up. It's ridiculous because I did stuff on everything and it's horrible. So perfect passer rating, and he helps. Oh, something's wrong. And he's continuously helping the Baltimore Ravens having a very successful season when they will actually knock off the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs.
I hope so.
If this is the playoffs, that's not going to happen. We all know Lamar can't do anything once.
Well, this is the scenario. This is the scenario. If Lamar wins MVP, he will choke in the playoffs. If he doesn't win MVP, he'll choke in the playoffs. But either way, Lamar may or may not win the MVP.
Shane Spencer.
What? Either way, he will or he won't. Either way, grass is green or it's not. Come on now, more obvious things.
Yeah.
You're a teacher.
Yeah, grass is green, water is wet. Lamar would choke in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is that going in your Valentine's card?
No. I mean, obviously, like tonight, they play the Bungles. When we'll talk about that later on. But like on the season, Lamar, as Shane's already said, is like he was a perfect passer rate in the weekend. I mean, as the season stands, he's currently on 2,379 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. So that's for the maths ones out there. For every 10 touchdowns he throws 1 interception on the season so far. He is having a phenomenal season. But then I talked about it on Monday as well, about like how he's flourishing because he doesn't feel like he has to carry the whole team on his back as much.
Until the wheels fall off Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry's like that horse. It's like Old Yeller. Like at some point, you're gonna have to take Derrick Henry behind the fields and literally just shoot his brains out.
Boys, carry.
Right.
Okay.
I took Jackson Smith-Njigba, the Seahawks star who had 7 receptions for 180 yards.
Phil really wasn't very happy about that pick.
Yeah, Phil's having a fit there. You all right, boys?
Sorry, it's not you. It's not you. I'm still angry with my computer. Like,
so yeah, I mean, and 2 touchdowns. He would have had another one if for another 60 yards if there wasn't an offside flag or neutral zone. It was on the offensive line. It was a flag, and he was in donkeys of space, and he literally ran in for a touchdown, and it would have been another 60 yards, but 180 yards and 7 receptions. Welcome to the NFL. You've just had your breakout game, my friend. I mean, I know we've been talking about JSN for the last 15, 18 months now, but that is some figures. Really is some figures. Much to your despise, Mr. Harris, your great quarterback, Joe Burrow, won.
Yes, this terrifies me a little bit. I took Joe Burrow as my player of the week. It's hard not to when he put 41 points up against Max Crosby and the Raiders. He threw for 5 touchdowns on only 1 pick, 251 yards. But this is where it concerns me. Double-edged sword for me. They obviously play the Ravens tonight, which Joe Burrow is going to show up. But he is my starting quarterback for my fantasy team. And I'm only having to dig my out of the hole I put myself in.
Yeah, but you also don't currently have one of your running backs starting, so.
Oh, Zach Moss, I know. I've replaced him, and I'm going to tell you who with, because this week I play your dad.
Yeah, but I can see now, but currently you don't have one in your starting lineup.
I better sort. I did. Oh no, I know. I better sort that out then.
I've literally got fantasy because.
Let's roll on to the fantasy lineup. We're halfway through the season, so we decided to do fantasy lineup latest. That's probably the best way to do it with Baby Hope.
Okay, so the third and long fantasy week 10. Much to my dismay, and much that he doesn't let me forget it, my dad is top of the league.
He is.
We have Noah in second place. We have our very own Phil Perrins in third place.
Didn't have a great week this weekend.
And then we have Mayday, who is apparently George, in fourth place. And my dad's on 7 and 2, and the other 3 are 6 and 3. We then go into in the race for the playoffs, so 5 and 4. We have Mr. Shane Harris.
I'm banging on the door. Let me in.
Then the 4 and 5, we have defending champs, who is my friend Jacob. We have Dude Looks Like a Brady. Does anyone actually know who he is?
I think that's my buddy Ricky, from back home.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, Ricky. Yeah. And then we have friend of the show, Andy Davis.
He does.
Yep.
And then 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th is my friend Jack, me, Ollie, and Kenny, all on 3 and 6.
Can I add? I did look earlier on. I haven't got the score in front of me, but isn't Noah the highest point scorer in the league? The 12-year-old is the highest point scorer in the league.
Noah also last week scored the most points of anyone this year so far, with 193.02.
Who's he even got?
Oh, it's ridiculous, his lineup. I'm going to bring it up now. So
I've got it here. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, go for it.
Bo Nix, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Amon St. Brown, Zay Flowers, Tucker Kraft, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the Lions kicker, the Chargers D. On his bench, he's got Drake May, James Conner, Wan'Dale Robinson, Mark Andrews, the Chris Boswell, and the Commanders defense.
That's not even superstar. They're not even massive superstars. Only St. Brown and Mark Andrews, I think, are huge names in that.
Alvin Kamara and Saquon Barkley.
Oh, sorry, Saquon. My apologies. Yeah, Saquon as well. But come
You're
on.
finally admitting Zay Flowers isn't superstar.
Top 6. Top 6.
Yeah.
I still think that was your burner account.
No, nowhere me, but
as we know, Shane Harris has a lot of burner accounts. He has multiple mobile phones and multiple social media accounts on multiple platforms.
That's not true. This is not true. I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, Mr. Parent.
This is what I've been told.
He's trying to insinuate you're a secret agent because we all know you're a secret spy.
And as pure as a driven star. Oh.
You're actually from Yorkshire. This is just a Welsh accent you put on.
Hey up, plus you can't do it. Yes.
Is it true you actually got a certain website beginning with only and end with Dan's called the Welsh Sleeve?
I've got one. It's okay for now.
Many has just said a many of many mysteries. I'm assuming she means a man of many mysteries.
Cheers, Lolly. Like I said, love. If you knew, you knew. Yeah, the point I'm making is it's not only my website would be only cans, obviously.
That's right. Let's roll on with.
This is the news in 60.
Or shall we call it trades in 60? It's ended up being a stupidly busy day on trade deadline day. Started off quiet and then it really kicked in. In no particular order, I will add. The 49ers literally got this in with seconds to spare as they acquire Khalil Davis from the Texans for a 6th round. Add to your defensive problems. Lieutenant, should we say? Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. The Cowboys got fleeced as they received Jonathan Mingo for a 4th round for 2025. Ravens got a great pickup with Tre'Davious White and a 7th round for a 6th round. Steelers acquired Mike Williams, finally. That's been going on for the last 3 weeks from the Jets for a 5th round. The Commanders, who I think got the best trade out of all of them, acquired Marshawn Lattimore for a 5th round. The Saints acquired the 3rd and the 4th and the 6th round from the Commanders. The Bengals acquired Khalil Herbert from the Bears for a 7th round. And the Lions acquired Jazarius Smith and a 6th round from the Browns for a 5th round.
That would have been going on for days too.
Yeah, I mean, that ever since touchdown went down, this has got to be one here. In the other news this week, it started off Monday with the sacking of head coach Dennis Allen after losing 7 games on the bounce. He is 8-28 as starting head coach going into this job.
Can I just take you guys back to week 3 when I said I can't trust Dennis Allen?
Yeah.
even when they say to 2-0.
Yeah.
The special teams coordinator, Darren Rizzo, is to take on interim charge, probably going to be to the end of the season now. The Raiders do want to be outdone, so they fired OC Luke Gatsby. Myself and Ollie are great fans of Luke Gatsby from his times in Chicago.
The big question is, why did they hire Luke Gatsby?
I have no idea. As well as offensive line coach James Craig, and that's the least of their problems, and quarterback coach Rick. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his surname. I think it's Scangalero. I don't know.
Scangalero.
There you go. I believe we might have Mickey Wallace on the phone in a bit as well to discuss.
Ooh, yes, please.
The Saints. Sorry, Phil, I just dropped you in that one, didn't I, mate?
Oh, you did a little bit, yeah. I mean, what? Should I talk about like the Raiders situation?
Yeah, go on then, mate.
So I don't know if anyone else has been closely following it. I have since the firing. I know we didn't talk about it on Monday's show, but I did. I think I said it either last Thursday or Monday about how much influence Tom Brady is going to have on the organization. He said some like rather powerful stuff recently when he was asked about the development of QBs coming into league from college to the NFL, and he was very, very critical of the fact that suddenly in the college and leagues, and then coming up into like many professional outfits, it feels like they dumb down the playbooks, where it actually regresses quarterbacks instead of actually pushing like the best. That's why there's a huge gap from the top 2 tiers in the NFL all the way down. Like, there doesn't really seem to be like serviceable quarterbacks. You're either in the upper echelon, like your Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, your Brock Purdy's, your former Aaron Rodgers, all the way down to, oh, suddenly crap, we've got Minshew and we've got Dan Jones. And I did state whether or not
bandwagon now.
I mean, I'm not bashing Minch. I love him, but like, we cannot overlook the fact that he is statistically the worst quarterback in the 32 starters. And
Stop.
no, but like, you look at his stats,
No,
man.
And the numbers don't let go.
Anyway, I did state whether or not Tom would get involved in the hiring of the additional staff. So Mark Davis is going to be the face, and Tom Brady is almost going to be like the football man of the ownership, kind of like what Sir Jim thinks he is at Manchester United. They've hired. I'm just saying, man. Just let me finish my point, man.
He's gone for Geordie, hasn't he?
God, he can tell he's alright. He's gone Geordie, man.
Right?
In the interim, they've hired former Raider head coach Norv Turner. Okay, Norv Turner is going to be a advisor to the Raiders organization. Norv Turner has hired Scott Turner, who is his son, to be the offensive coordinator. Now, unless you don't really know the offensive coordinator position or Scott Turner's tenure in the NFL, he was the quarterbacks coach at Minnesota Vikings 6 years ago. His last offensive coordinator job was at the Washington Commanders from 2020 to 2022. Now, this is where Raiders fans might want to be interested in this. Currently, the Raiders offense is ranked 28 in the NFL. And you must think, well, Norv Turner, he's a former head coach. He's obviously, going to be good. Oh, Scott Turner, his son, he's a former offensive coordinator. When Scott Turner was offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders in the 2021 season, smack bang in the middle of his tenureship, they were ranked 24th best offense in the NFL. So it doesn't really look like the Raiders have replaced for quality. They look like they've just replaced for replacing sakes. Now, I don't want to say about nepotism because that runs wild, bigger than Minshew Mania in the NFL as it is. But I don't think any of these moves that the Raiders have done are either A, long-term, or B, substantial. I really do think that the Raiders are going to have a lot of off-season transactions, not just in their management and coaching staff, but also in the team as well. I cannot see why or how any of the star players in the Raiders organization will want to sit through this again, after again, after again, after again. If I'm Max Crosby and I'm Mr. Raider, I'm going to be looking around going, what am I doing with the best years of my career?
Yeah, but I mean, you're there saying they've not replaced with quality. Nobody's better than Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator. So the fact they've actually got somebody who has experience, I don't think is awful, because anybody is better than Luke Getsy.
I was about to say,
yeah, but that's literally the equivalent of saying, like, I'm trying to think it from like our terms here, but like that's like saying, oh, I'm firing Sam Allardyce, the football manager, and replacing him with Steve Bruce. So that's not really. That's not really saying. You're literally saying I'm replacing
a tactical mastermind.
4-4 in 2.
What I'm saying is that you're replacing a very poor offensive coordinator with very poor recruitment. I mean, let's be honest, the Raiders offense has had horrendous recruitment in the last 2 years. Okay, and they've replaced him with just as bad. I mean, if anything, I don't know Scott Turner. I really hope he proves me wrong. And the NFL is a wonderful Cinderella story sometimes. But his own resume is not particularly better than the guy that they just fired.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Completely agree. I mean, there's Yeah, I mean, like you said, his resume isn't actually brilliant. I haven't got his stats in front of me. Actually, I should have got that. But yeah, it just doesn't. It screams desperation.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, it really does. It's. Yeah, I don't get the situation where it is in Raiders. I know something had to happen, but is it a case of Antonio Pierce had nothing to lose last year and everything went right for him nearly enough, and now he is the head coach and everything falls on him? Is it now, oh crap, I've got to do something to show that I am in charge of this team and not everything else?
Was Antonio Pierce the coach when the Raiders put like 60 odd on the Chargers?
Yes.
Yes.
But that was off of the back of them getting blown out the week beforehand, if you remember from last year. They had like I think they had a game, I think it might have been against the Broncos, where they didn't score at all. It was like a really, really low scoring game when the Raiders shut out. Apologies. I just associate bad games with the Denver Broncos. And then the week after, that was obviously, when they had that huge, when they blew out like the Chargers. But like, I think, and there's nothing wrong with saying this, because I think Robert Saleh is probably low-key admitting it as well. You can be a great defensive coordinator and know your place. Mm-hmm. Like, not everybody is destined to be great head coach material. Like, you're just not.
Josh McDaniels twice found out that he wasn't a head coach.
Yeah. I mean, Josh McDaniel is I don't want to say Hall of Fame, but he is a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. All right?
No, maybe 4.
Is it 4? Is it 3 or 4?
It's 3 or 4. I can't remember the exact number.
Yeah. And that will never, ever, ever be taken away from him. However, the twice opportunities that he's been given to be a head coach, he has not just like blown it, he has destroyed it. And not in a positive way. He has blown that whole thing up. Antonio Pierce is very much well loved in the Raiders locker room. Like he is. He's respected. He came in how hard is it to be loved when your head coach was Josh McDaniels, who upset every single person on that 53 roster? So it's not hard to go, well, Josh McDaniels is a piece of work. Oh, Antonio Pierce, he talks about winning and respect, and he actually has won a Super Bowl as a player. You can get on board with that, but I think the Raiders are suffering from going maybe too all in on Antonio Pierce and expecting probably too much from him when obviously they've got 2 quarterbacks that are not essentially, starters. We love Minshew. He's a big fan of the show, I'm led to believe, but he is not a franchise leading quarterback. He is a very serviceable backup. Okay. And I'm saying this as someone that respects him. Aidan O'Connell is probably a very good third stringer. He is not a backup. He's probably a really good guy to have in the locker room. His mustache helps him quite a lot. But do you not think like Aidan O'Connell, if you gave him a mullet, would look like Dominic Mysterio? No, do you not think he'd look like Dominic Mysterio?
Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, by the way, hi, Gardner.
WWE, I'm not allowed to watch it anymore.
I'll give you my network account like Shane has. Like you can watch it then for free.
Wait, I ain't got your network password.
You got my password. I gave it you.
No, you gave it to me.
Oh, I gave it to you. Sorry.
Yeah, Phil, that's all right. But I remember that. That's fine.
No, that's all right, mate. I've got a special stick.
Right, Kelly's a lucky girl.
Hi, Kelly, if you're watching in Edinburgh.
No, but like seriously, I know I'm very passionate about it only because I work in an industry where they do promote sometimes. I'm not saying about my school. Sometimes, and I've been a teacher for 10 years. This month, well, actually, this week is my 10th anniversary as a teacher.
Wow, that's a random time to start.
I know. Well, no, because I got my first position after the October half term, and October half term for me was last week. So it's 10 years. It's 10 years. And I have worked in 5 different schools. I have worked in 5 different schools where people have been promoted beyond their capabilities. Yeah. And I've liked these people. I've liked these people, but they have been promoted into positions where they were not suited for. And it happens in all forms of life, but we see it in the NFL more often than not because sometimes we're ruled by our hearts instead of our heads. because that's just how sports are. I'm going to stop talking about it now because I feel like I've got everything that I need to off my chest. But I think the Raiders should be vying for the Tank Bowl. They should be vying for being 1 or 2 in the draft in the offseason. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try. I mean, I'm not really sure who some of their quality players have that they can actually pass over other than someone like Max Crosby in the offseason. Because I would try and look to rebuild this team from the bottom upwards.
You've got Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins as the only 2 I could think that would possibly give decent cap trade.
I mean, you almost need like a Dan Campbell reset. Like, you literally, I think you might need a Dan Campbell reset where if you're going to stick with Antonio Pierce, trade away all your bigger cap, rinsers, and give him another season, and then slowly build up. Because let's not forget, these first 2 seasons in Detroit, Dan Campbell did not have a winning season.
He did not.
Let's not forget that Christian Wilkins turned down $2 million less with the 49ers to join the Raiders.
Yeah.
Good lad. 2 cents.
Not $2 million a year, $2 million overall.
Yeah.
Can I just talk about Dennis Allen for a minute?
Yeah, I was gonna segue onto that anyway, with coaches being promoted when they shouldn't have.
So about a year and a half ago, I met a New Orleans fan, and they said to me, "We are trying to rebuild with a coach that doesn't know how to rebuild."
Yep.
And I've never trusted Dennis Allen. I was pretty clear about this on the podcast 2 weeks running when you went for the Saints and I went for whoever the Saints were playing, because let's face it, they were playing
Falcons
the Saints.
was one of them.
Yeah. But let's face it, they were playing the Saints. And you all, they've gone 2-0, meh. But the problem is,
we were blinded. We were blinded.
Derek Carr just played well for a week and a half.
I think Alvin Kamara played well.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara played well for 2 weeks. Dennis Allen, for me, was never a good coach. He was a mid-coach at best and was a bad coach at worst. And to be honest, I think he should have gone at the end of last season. But that's just my 2 cents.
So, friend of mine, Toby, he's commented a few times on the show before, he is a Saints fan. And he put on the group chat, "Thank God that's finally over." That says everything. I mean, Jay Lawrence, who does the NFL on TalkSport at the 9:00 game, is currently in New Orleans at the moment. I think he's going to see the game this weekend as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what he. Sometimes I go and follow him on his videos. His videos are really good on TikTok. Actually, he's quite informative. Like really knows his stuff. Really good guy. But yeah, I mean, Saints haven't been the same since probably Drew Brees left.
Yeah.
They've been looking for that. Well, probably no, before Drew Brees. No, Drew Brees, he got to the divisionals, didn't he? Yeah.
Who was that quarterback after Drew Brees before Derek Carr?
I want to say Jameis Winston, but I don't
think
it
was Jameis Winston.
It was Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and he got injured, didn't he? And let's bring someone else in. Yeah. And they've not been the same since, because almost like New England and when Brady left. And probably when Manning left, and Colts when, not so much Colts because they had Andrew Luck, but when these big present quarterbacks leave, and it's like, was it the coach, was it the quarterback kind of thing, you start to go, perhaps it was actually the quarterback who's carried that team and got them there, because players want to go.
Well, I mean, Peyton's doing okay with the Broncos.
Players, but they,
Peyton's doing okay now. The Broncos have a proper quarterback.
True. But then again, Russell Wilson's doing well in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
He's had the situation, but they just didn't get on. Mr. P, you had your hand up.
Yeah, no, it's just to kind of like echo what you just said. I mean, I am my favorite. Well, one of my favorite non-49er players has always been Drew Brees. I watched him when he won his Super Bowl. I remember the ESPN special that the ESPN used to do, like a sports science series. And they would quite often use like the NFL, and they featured in one episode Drew Brees, where they claimed that scientifically and statistically, Drew Brees is the most accurate quarterback in NFL history in terms of his, at the time, completion and his pinpoint accuracy with his passes. And it's just like a 20-minute episode, and you literally went through like Drew Brees and like how he goes around like he's practicing. I mean, the man was so elite, and I think other quarterbacks as well would do the same thing. That on their bye weeks, instead of like having his feet up, he would literally play through a game by himself, where he would go to the sports facility and play out like a 60-minute game where he would literally just go through his reads. He would, literally just like do some passes, do some handoff. He would still play the game in front of no one. He was just still in that groove all the time.
Yeah, and Tom Brady did the same as well. Or he would do it. He would do a couple of games, and then he'll like do a load of rehab to get his body right. It's what these older quarterbacks do, and they know how to do it.
And like, I mean, that we said before, and this is how we know that we're really old, gents, because we would this is like in terms of like NFL, and I'm going to throw you into this, baby, because even though your history isn't as on point as like the other three of us, but you are still aware of like the modern NFL history. But like at one point, you had in the league Peyton, Brady, Breeze, Cutler, Roethlisberger, you had Phillips, you had Matt Ryan, you had these, and who else have I missed?
Phillips, you mean Rivers.
Yeah, sorry, Philip Rivers. And you had Brett Favre and you had Aaron Rodgers. Okay, those are all, with the exception of maybe Matt Ryan, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Like
Jay
they
Cutler.
are.
Jay Cutler.
I love Jay Cutler.
Joe Flacco.
Whoa! I think that's outdone me.
What? I love Jay Cutler. The Cutlets, I love him. Anyway, I'm joking. Hold on, but just hear me out. All these teams have had these high-end, like elite, the best of the best of the best. We literally grew up in an era where the greatest group of elite quarterbacks were all in the league at the exact same time, and with the exception of Cutler and Ryan and Rivers, they all won Super Bowls. And let's throw Flacco into that as well, because I think Flacco will be a Hall of Fame quarterback one day. But we don't really have that anymore. And like nearly all of the franchises who have lost their great quarterbacks, like your Brady's, when Brady officially left and then he retired at the Bucs, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers is an enigma, because Jordan Love just came in and Jeff Garcia everywhere. Like they've just had a legacy of great quarterbacks after great quarterbacks. So we are just seeing like the Saints. They lost Drew Brees. They still had Sean Payton, because Sean Payton was still there for a season, maybe 2 seasons after he retired. I can't remember off the top of my head. And they didn't have a plan. Like they knew Drew Brees was going to retire at some point, but they didn't have a plan. They brought in Jameis Winston, and that didn't end up really well for anyone involved. So they didn't have a plan. The Colts, for years, were just hiring quarterbacks that were nearly 40, from your Rivers to your Matt Ryans to now your Joe Flacco's. That's literally what they were doing. They didn't have any plan whatsoever. So all these teams that are sucking now, that were good 5, 10, 15 years ago, that were in the playoffs, they are literally a result of poor management and poor foresight. Because if you're an organization now and you have a quarterback that's 33, 34, you need to start planning for the future. It might not be 2 years' time, 3 years' time, 5, 6. You need to plan like the Packers did with Jordan Love and what the Packers did with Aaron Rodgers when they had Brett Favre. You need to start thinking about succession.
Agreed.
Sorry, that was a rant. I've had 2 rants tonight on the show. I apologize. That wasn't my intention.
Hey mate, it's fine. I love it when you're on your on your I can't think of the phrase now, but yeah, I absolutely love it.
I just said soapbox. My mic working. Hello.
Yeah, I heard you now. It's unlike you. I normally hear you quite easily.
Don't hear me from Bristol.
Right. As you might be seeing on our Twitter pages, and I think I might put them on other socials, but we are doing our first ever mid-season power rankings. It's something that I decided to do a few weeks ago. Some of us gave them later rather than others. Not mentioning anything. Some copied some from others, so they got told
I didn't. I never do.
I did.
Right. So we've got running through the bottom at the moment, 11 to 32. In 11, you've got Eagles, 12 Falcons, 13 Chargers.
11 Niners, 12 Eagles, 13 Falcons.
Yeah,
14
I thought that was
Chargers.
kind of shady. Who's put the 49ers outside the top 10? It's one of you assholes, because that's not something that me and Baby would do.
I put them
I didn't
at
do it.
10.
Me?
Maybe put them 11th.
Did I?
Yeah.
I put him
You
fifth.
scum. You're absolute scum, baby. I put him as 8th.
Right
Eagles,
now,
11, Falcons 12, Chargers, Broncos, Cardinals, Bucks, Bears, Bengals round up the top 20. Colts, Seahawks, Rams, Cowboys, Dolphins, Jets, Browns, and Jags are the 30s. The bottom two are Panthers and Patriots. I'm surprised Patriots are that high. So let's roll into the top 10. The other ones are rolling down the bottom. Go on to our socials if you're listening. They are all there for you, and I'll put the top 10 up in tomorrow as well. In 10th place, we do have the world famous. Oh, you!
No, I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
No, I'm not bloody saying it. The San Francisco 49ers.
The world's famous 5-time Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers.
Baby Hope, why did you put them outside the top 10?
You
because
suck.
right now we're 4-4, so it's hard to justify putting us in the top 10.
And Shane, why did you put them 5th?
On paper, they got one of the strongest rosters in the NFL. You know, they got class in every position, much as I hate to say it. I can't swear anymore, Philip.
Right. In 9th place, we have the Houston Texans. Baby, you put them in 4th.
Yeah, they are 6-3. I know CJ Stroud has not been that impressive, but their defense has been good. And Joe Mixon is in the running for Offensive Player of the Year.
Mr. Harris, Mr. Perrin, so you had them in 15th. Your reasoning for this, sir?
What, me?
Yeah.
Yes, you laughed.
Oh,
You
I thought you
called
said
Mr.
Mr.
Perrin.
Harris. Oh,
I
a second.
did not say Mr. Perrin because I couldn't
You
read
should know
Did I really put the Texans as 15?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because that they've never won the Super Bowl, and I don't think they will this year. There we go.
So you put them 15th.
The Packers at 8th. Baby had them in 8th. I had them in 9th. Mr. Perrin doesn't like the Packers, so he had them in 12th. Shayna, you had them up in 6th.
I don't like the Packers either. But yeah, boys, you can't argue with it. Boys, you can't argue with the results. And Jordan Love's playing really well. They've got a young roster. Xavier McKinney is probably the best safety in the league right now, which I'm not happy about, but it is what it is. Yeah, I put them at 6, and I think they're a good value for that place.
Is Jordan Love really playing that well? Like, is he playing
Yeah,
that well?
I don't think Love.
Well, they're winning.
Yeah, I was just like, is he playing well? I didn't think he was.
He's
I
not
don't
really
think he's
justifying
at that
his-
where he was last season, but don't forget he's come off an injury.
Yeah.
He was carrying a groin injury against
Groin again.
I think held him back. But when he's fit, I think he could play well. Oh, please don't do that again.
But he's the second highest paid quarterback in the league, and he's not justifying that.
It's not far into 5, Ed.
True. Shane, Steelers in 7th. Myself and Baby both put them in 7th. Mr. Perrin's put them in 6th. You had them 10. Yeah, I haven't got my towel.
Why do you think I have them at 10th?
I've got my Norwich scarf. Hold on.
We can't deny that what they're doing is working. They're top of the AFC North. They've got two quarterbacks. I think there's 2 quarterbacks. Trust me, I know these things. They've got 2 quarterbacks I think would start for most teams, to be fair. And yeah, I mean, Fryermuth's playing well. Pickens is playing well. Najee's playing well. TJ Watt's an absolute wrecking machine. These are all horrible, horrible things I'm saying. I feel sick. Just the sick is about here at the minute.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
generally thought you were top of the North.
I mean, after the Bengals beat the Ravens will be 3rd soon.
Shut up, you dull. Right? But, yeah, Steelers are 10th, and they're lucky they're 10th in my eyes.
Right. Steelers, no, sorry, don't see his Vikings in 6th. We all put them around the same. Shane put them down in 9th. We all put them 5 and 6, apart from Shane who put them in 9th.
I did.
Why?
Oh, sorry, justification for that. Sorry.
Yes, please.
They started off really hot. They started off like 5-0. When we saw them, they weren't massively impressive. You know, that Jets team wasn't even that good. And then they've just sort of fallen off a little bit. And I think the wheels maybe fallen off Sam Darnold. They've only got one superstar weapon on offense, really. Yeah, I think.
Do you not think Aaron Jones is a superstar?
Well, when he's fit, he's upper mid card, shall we say, to pinch a turn from somewhere else. But he's not a superstar.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Totus version of Jey Uso, upper mid card at best.
Oi.
Main event, Jay, so thank you.
I'm gonna let Mr. Hope and Mr. Perrins really upset Mr. Harris by putting the Ravens. We got them 5th overall, but you put him 9th and 10th, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You literally have just buried your own team, and when they get smacked by the Bungles, they'll be 3rd in their division. So that's not let's not scoff at the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, yeah, I think you're very good, and I think Lamar probably will win the MVP, and that will be the only thing that Baltimore win this year.
It's hard to put a team high when you just know they're going to crumble and die in the playoffs.
I know.
We're talking about playoffs. We're talking about now, right? I'm talking about playoffs. We're talking about now.
Can I say?
Yeah, but at least I actually did my own, not the NFL. So.
Oh! I tried to get Gower past OBH, but he's like, no, play properly. So I did. Didn't I, Ollie? Didn't I?
Yeah, you did send me a second one. Right. I put the Ravens higher than you, Shane. I put them 2nd.
Lolly's really enjoying Phil calling them the Bungles.
The other Bungles.
Right, yeah. I put the Ravens 2nd. I do think they're the 2nd best team in football at the moment.
Thank you.
Washington 4th. We put Washington 4th on an average overall. They're all around the same 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's nothing like that. The Bills at 3, gentlemen. Why have we put them so high?
Because Josh Allen's going to win MVP. And
Josh
Allen is playing. He is playing the best I've seen Josh Allen play this season. Only one interception. That's unheard of for Josh Allen.
And now they've got Now they've got Amari Cooper on offense. They actually have a WR1, and James Cook is an upper mid card running back.
Thank you very much.
Flick agrees with us, saying Josh Allen is amazing.
Oh, Flick's about, is she? Yeah, so I'm not being funny. We questioned who his WR1 was going to be at the beginning of the season. No one knew. We all said Keon Coleman, and don't get me wrong, he's been serviceable. But they brought in Amari Cooper as a true WR1. Sorry, WR stands for wide receiver, for those who don't know. That's the people who catch the ball, by the way. As we've said, they fly in. Their defense hasn't missed a beat either.
I mean, Amari Cooper can score a touchdown even when he doesn't know what the play is.
Exactly. Catch a ball.
Chiefs at 2. We've all put them around there. Apart from Baby Hope, put them at number 1. I guess you put them there because
they're 8-0. You can't argue with the fact that they've not lost a game this season. I don't think they're the best team in football. But
so why you put them at 1?
Okay, I'm about to say
elaborate.
The guy that used to do the power rankings for the NFL, Dan Hanzus, used to say, "I put the Super Bowl winners at 1, and I don't move them from there until they lose a game."
Okay.
And they've not lost a game yet, so I think they're good. They're good at number 1.
I mean, we've all put Lions, apart from Baby Hope, we've all got Lions at number 1. To be fair, they are the best team in football this year. By Abdul-Mar, they lose their best defensive weapon. Another one steps up. They lose Brian Branch, gets ejected from the game. It doesn't affect them. Dan Campbell has this magic wand and he's waving over Detroit, and they will bring a Super Bowl home this year.
Dan Campbell will win the Super Bowl, and the city of Detroit will build a bloody statue of him. Yeah. Literally. And it will be that iconic to Detroit, like the Rocky Balboa. Like, it always blows my mind with Philadelphia that instead of like all the famous athletes that have come from Philadelphia, they have a statue of a fictional character from a man who wasn't even from Philadelphia. But Dan Campbell will be the Rocky Balboa statue of Detroit.
Haven't they got Nick Foles and
Doug Peterson? Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson.
Imagine that's your Nick Foles who got beaten out of the league, and Doug Peterson who's tanking his life away in Florida. That is amazing.
I mean, it's not a bad place to go and tank your life away in Florida. Actually, no, it isn't. It's
where everyone goes to. It's where everyone goes to retire.
Yeah,
it's where all the old people and the homeless people go.
That's true. Right.
And Trump.
let's roll on to week 10. Baby Hope has chosen the prediction games this week. Mr. Hope.
Yeah, boy.
So I chose the game in Germany because we always do the international game. Steelers versus Commanders, I think, is a very, very tasty matchup.
Yeah.
Vikings at Jags. I just think the Jags are improving. And Jets at Cardinals. I chose that one because I was looking at the odds on Paddy Power, and the odds were the same for the Jets or the Cardinals.
Wow.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
That's fair enough.
that's
man.
why I picked that one, because apparently it's going to be even.
Either or. So after the standings, Baby Hope, after 9 weeks, Baby Hope is on 27 points. Mr. Parent has jumped up to second, but is 6 points back with 21 points. I slipped down to joint third with Mr. Harris with
Also known as joint last.
joint third. We are joint third, aren't we, Shane?
We are, but we are. I think we ban him from drinking fruit juice before the show starts. Too much sugar.
Also do that. Oh my god, I love it when baby's like this. I love it when he doesn't attack me. I like it when he goes after you two.
I mean, you give us enough weapons anyway, mate. Right, let's start in Germany with the Giants and the Panthers. Sorry, Germany, you have been given this game again.
It's awful, isn't it?
I mean,
That's indeed last year.
as if the NFL isn't torturing them enough. As if the NFL isn't torturing them enough, they've got Machine Gun Kelly at halftime too.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So-
The best thing about Machine Gun Kelly, he left in America. He's left Megan. Well, he's left Megan Fox alone while he comes to Berlin or Munich. Sorry.
So a friend of our show has admitted on the group chat we're all on that he likes Machine Gun Kelly.
Does he?
Yeah, I know. I'm now contemplating my friend that I choose.
Oh,
I like one
Bloody
Machine-
Valentine is an absolute tune. Bloody Valentine's a tune.
I like one Machine Gun Kelly song.
Yeah, but your musical taste is very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Poor. Anyway.
Why?
Right.
Because I don't like Metallica.
Yes, that's the exact reason.
To be fair, this is a genuine impression of a Metallica song. Hey guys, this is our song from 30 years ago. Wow. This is our song from now. Wow. And the
I
first
know
song for 15, 20
I
minutes.
know where you live.
Oh, don't get me started, Shayna. Don't get me started. Right, let's go through the Germany game. Predictions. We'll start with you, Mr. Hope, as you are leading the way. Yes, that was my impression of Germany.
The Giants are hapless. Panthers have at least a bit of life. I'm taking the Panthers.
Mr. Perrins, you have the honor of going second, my friend.
They have mess of making you watch the game. I'm going to pick the Carolina Panthers. Like Baby said, the Giants are so poor, but at least the Panthers are trying with some respect. They are trying.
Shane, you will talk now.
I think the biggest losers in this game are the fans. The fact they've got to pay all that money to watch that garbage.
I'm saying, like, the cheapest ticket is $114.
That's vile. Absolutely vile.
What? That.
I mean, I bet Goodell's got so much money and the league got so much money they blow their nose with like $100 bills. Who is the Giants?
They gave them the Chiefs versus Dolphins last year. I mean, come on.
I mean, that was the most game of two halves I've ever seen in my life. 21 now? 21 all.
Right, who's Danny Dimes' backup? Anyway, anyone know?
Tyrod Taylor.
It's Tyrod. I play Tyrod, I would. He's way better than Danny Dimes. They're only starting him because they paid him. But I think
I'd rather they just rolled out the field general and they literally just put the ball in and the machine shoots it down the pitch. You'd have better accuracy.
Well, the
joke
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think there's something about that Giants defense with Thibodeau and Brian Burns and that. They're woefully underperforming. I think a game like this may be the kick up the rear end they need to sort of sort themselves out. I think the Giants will win. I think Neighbors will score as well.
So you're going for New York.
Yes.
You are in the book.
What?
Have you not heard?
I
see that
apologise
line
to all
from
our
Dad's
German
Army?
listeners, by the way.
Have you not heard that line from Dad's Army? Hey,
Yeah.
you know what also got in the book?
Just to
What
make
is your name? Don't tell him, Pike.
you know.
Right. My go. Dexter Lawrence is probably gonna on task.
Sexy Dexty.
Is gonna win probably Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps this going up in this such a bad team. He is the best player in this team. That says everything. The only thing that's holding back this team is they haven't replaced Saquon Barkley, the GM, Brian Dable, and Daniel Jones. So there's a lot. Like Baby Hope said, like Parents has said, they are trying to do something. They are trying to turn this around. I think they've got a better head coach. I am going for Carolina Reapers.
Panthers. It's not a pepper.
I said I'd joke in the group chat this week. I thought we were putting it on the show. Obviously not. Okay.
Well,
I thought every game before they started Andy Dalton ate a Reaper, which is why his hair's red.
right. Let's go to Steelers at Commanders. Baby Hope.
So this, I think, is the hardest game to call of the lot. But I think the Steelers are kind of I think their 6-3 is a bit of a not representative of how good they actually are. Whereas I feel like Dan Quinn and the Commanders have got something rolling. I'm taking Washington.
Yeah. Baby, Mr. Parents.
Baby Parents now, is it?
Baby Parents.
I am the second youngest on the show. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Commanders as well.
Nice. Shane.
No
He's going to take the 12.
Prizes for getting go.
12 turners, isn't he?
Oh, Jaden Daniels punch Mike Tomlin in the mouth, stomps a mud hole in him and walks it dry. Washington with the win.
I think personally, Steelers are flattered by their record.
That's the word he was looking for.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I said it's not representative of how good they are because they're not that good, in my opinion.
All right. Okay. I read that completely different the way you're saying, but yeah, I'm going to make it a full house to go for Washington.
Yeah, I was trying to say that their record flatters them, not they're better than 6-3. I was trying to say they're worse.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
Other way around.
I wondered why you pulled away, why you pulled a face.
Yeah, it's like, what are you? I mean, Washington, they are doing stupidly good things at the moment. Don't know how much Marshall Lattimore is going to play this weekend. They're already a top 10 defense. They're only going to get better with him. You know, Eckler's playing well. Brian Robinson's playing well. Jaden Daniels is playing like he's been in the league for 10 years. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to make it a full house and go for Washington. We are now going to sit in... No, we're going to Florida for Jacksonville. Baby Hope.
So I just picked this one because I thought it was quite an interesting game. I don't think it's a very hard one to call, but I just think it's an interesting game that I wanted to talk about.
Go on then.
So I think the fact that McCorkle Jones is starting
Yay!
The Vikings are going to win this easy.
McCorkle Bowl.
Go on then, Phil.
I'm agreeing. The Vikings are going to win. I'm going to go one step further as well. McCorkle will not throw a passing touchdown.
Ooh.
Shane.
As much as I want to go against the grain, I just can't. McCorkle is an awful quarterback. Let's be fair. Well, he was a false dawn for you because you've got someone now who is probably the future of your franchise. Let's be real.
No, I know that. Great.
And so you were sold a bill of goods on the jersey that you bought with his name on.
Yeah.
Oh, you can always change the name. The number's the same. You know, just put a bit of tape over it or something. Yeah, I'm going for Vikings. Got to do it.
Fair enough.
Oh, so sorry, big fella, if you're listening.
Yeah. What happens normally when a backup comes in?
The team lose.
They ball
when
out.
When his name's Mac Jones, he flames out.
He's going to ball out. He's going to throw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I've got a feeling now Vikings will hit their ceiling with Sam Darnold. And I do think that. And I do like the pass rush in Jacksonville a lot. So I'm going to go for Jacksonville to win.
Ooh, okay.
And I'll sit here crying on Monday or smug on Monday because I was the only one who got it right. Jets Cardinals, gentlemen.
Blair.
Baby hope.
So, Jets looked very good against the Texans.
There's a but here somewhere.
The Cardinals looked very good against whoever they were playing, because I can't remember who.
Chargers?
No, the Chargers won.
No, it was. Oh my God, that's going
to be last week. I've slept and drunk since then.
Out of me now. They played last week. I remember someone running like a 6-yard touchdown. They played Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they looked very good. The Texans were awful against the Jets, and they beat themselves. The Cardinals actually beat the Bears, although they've been very inconsistent. And I really don't want to do this because they're in our division, and I'd love to see the Jets win, but I'm taking Arizona.
Parents.
My choice.
Because I actually want to get closer to my baby's total. I'm actually going against the grain here and go against him. I'm going to risk it all. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Gonna risk it all. Shano.
Cardinals have impressed me. They're top of that division thing that they've got. I wonder who's third of that division. I can't remember. But anyway, I digress.
LA is
Yeah. No. In LA, but somebody else. So, no, is there somebody else in that division? I'm sure there's 4 teams.
No, I think that's the team that's got 3 divisions in.
I know. It's the world famous San Francisco 49ers. Anyway, enough about those. Cardinals, yeah, I think Cardinals are going to beat the Jets. I think all day they're going to beat them. They're going to beat them like a red stepchild. I genuinely think so. I think the Jets are awful. I think the Cardinals are just hitting their stride.
Have the Jets turned the corner? Possibly. Have they made massive strides? Doubt it. Arizona are consistently playing at a consistent level. They've just got to get their rookie sensation Marvin Harris going regular because he's either hot or cold. He's been cold the last couple of weeks, so it could be a hot week. But I'm going for Arizona for the win as well.
Do you think the Cardinals have been playing at a consistent level? I think they've been really inconsistent this season.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they'll have one great game where they absolutely ball out, and then they massively underperform. I mean, their record is not exactly like the Chiefs or the Lions. Their record is what, 5-4?
Yeah, 5-4.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that they are playing consistent.
If I would give them a mark out of 10 every week, there's occasionally they're an 8, but most weeks they're a 6. That's what I would call it. That's why I say they're playing at a consistent level. They're not brilliant. Kyler's playing well. You know, the running backs are absolutely brilliant in there. Their defense needs a bit of work, but like I said, if they get Marvin Harris Jr. going, Jets will be in problems because that secondary isn't looking good. Which is a surprise considering they got Sauce Gardner in there and it's what, third year itis, do you think? Gentlemen, over to the rest of the games. We've got to start with tonight's game or last night's game, wherever you're listening to the podcast. Thursday night football. You are hosting the Bengals in your all purple gear, which I love the helmet.
Wow, beautiful sight that is. Beautiful sight.
Is it bad that I kind of fancy the Bengals for this?
Don't. It's a case of which way the team's going to turn up. The team that decimated the Broncos last week or the team that fell apart against the Browns. Tre'Davious White coming over from the Rams is an interesting pickup because when we played the Browns 2 weeks ago, Marlon Humphrey was out, and as was our number 1 draft pick, Nate Wiggins, so we struggled at corner. But the one thing we are missing now is a pass rusher. Hector Costa didn't do anything to fix that in free agency. They've also got rid of Yannick Ngakoue, who's only just come in. They're hoping to pick him up off waivers. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough task. But I know PJ Hill is out. I know PJ Hill is out for the Bengals. That will nullify much of their defense, because obviously we are a run-heavy team. Say we want, boys. We're a run-heavy team, but Lamar can also pass, as we saw last week. Again, perfect passer rating. Yeah, I think we'll win, and if we win, we'll go to 7-3 and get a bit more of a stranglehold on the division. But again, the Bengals 4-5, that flatters them a bit as well. They
I think that's about right.
I think it'll be right. Beginning of the season, the Bengals would win the North.
Yeah, but Joe Burrows to me is just hitting form. He threw 5 touchdowns last week. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd.
T. Higgins is out.
Is he?
Yeah.
Chase Brown looked very good last week. I think the Bengals might sneak this in a very close game.
How many points are you going to put on Tampa Bay, boys? You've had a week off.
30.
You've got Christian McCaffrey back. Debo's going to be fit and healthy. Kittle's going to be back to his strength. Juwan Jennings is back. Ricky Pearsall's looking good.
Yeah, I think we might put 25 to 30 on him.
Perrins has got his hand up very patiently.
So I just want to say as well, looking at like the injuries as well. I mean, Baker is likely to play, but he's currently down as questionable. And obviously, they've lost their highest receiver in Goodwin, who's been on IR.
And they don't have Evans either.
So their 1-2 punch has kind of disappeared. Now, I am not going into it feeling extremely overconfident. This is still a good team. Baker Mayfield has had an extremely good season. They have a losing record, but I don't think they necessarily deserve it. But your record is what it is in the NFL. I don't think it'll be a blowout because our offense as a whole has not been able to do that this season, where we've not been in positions or we've blown teams out. We go far ahead, and then Kyle Shanahan forgets to play football at some point, and then our defense kind of like falters as well. I think we'll win, but I by no means do I think it's going to be a cakewalk.
We also historically play really bad in 6 o'clock games.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the excuses.
No, I think we'll win, but I didn't think it's going to be a walkover. Like
I agree with you. I think we'll win, but I don't think we'll win handsomely.
Yeah.
Well, just a quick one. Do you know who's thrown for the most touchdown passes in the league thus far?
Baker.
Joe Burrow?
Yes. Baker, 21. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are tied behind him with 20. So Josh Allen is nowhere to be seen. Or your illustrious Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Geno Smith.
Okay.
I know. Thanks, Val. Mic drop.
Most yards this year. So Drake May has thrown more touchdown passes than Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson, Tua, Will Levis, Justin Fields, Mason Rudolph, Anthony Richardson, Malik Willis, Bryce Young. And the list goes on and on and on and on.
Apart from Tua, who's missed most of the season, you just listed off a list of mid to low level quarterbacks.
David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown have both thrown touchdowns. So cool.
This is true.
I just don't know. I was wondering because the way I heard something earlier, and I thought he's got the same touchdown passing as Gardner Minshew.
Again, a low level quarterback.
Okay,
He played 3 games. And he's thrown 6 touchdowns. That's what I was just getting at.
I do actually think you have a chance of beating the Bears.
I do as well because the Bears like beating themselves in a minute.
Yeah,
Matt Eberflus, arse must be on fire, my friend.
Eberflus is something like he's not won an away game in like years or something.
Yeah, they're at home. They're at Soldier Field.
Yeah, I know that, but I was just making a statement.
But also, have you seen there was a play in the game against Cardinals for Chicago where the play was still going on and DJ Moore literally just walked off the field.
Yeah.
And it's like there's something not right in that changing room. And when things aren't right in that changing room, you're in trouble. We see it on our court day in and day, week in and week out.
It's like last year when George Pickens, the ball was about a meter away from him and he just stood there.
Yeah,
it was a fumble.
Yeah.
It was a fumble. The ball was about a meter away from him and he just stood there watching it.
Cam Newton, the 2025 Super Bowl.
2025?
2015 Super Bowl, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know something we don't?
Any other games that jump out to you, gentlemen?
Yeah, oh god, where's it? I had Jesus, I had is it the Bears and the Patriots game? Yeah, purely because I think the Patriots in that fourth quarter were exceptional last weekend, and the Bears don't seem to have a lot of buzz around them. I think this could be a really good game where the Patriots get one over on the Bears and things start to get a little bit nasty in Chicago, because it always happens every year. So that's the one, because you've got two teams that one's underachieving this year after high promise, and the other one is like still punching, but they know it's not their time yet. So that's generally one that I'm fascinated with.
Shane?
Can't believe no one's mentioned it yet. The late game Sunday night, Monday morning, Lions-Texans.
God,
that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. Sorry, but I beat you to the punch on that one.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Houston really needs to up their game. If this was Houston last year against Detroit this year, you would have game of the ages.
You're knocked on drag out.
You really, really would. But Houston are misfiring this season. They're 6-3. They are playing well. Detroit are the favourites for this. Okay, yes, it's in Houston, but Detroit are the favourites for this game, and I can't go against that. Baby hope.
So both teams have been poor-ish this season, but usually Eagles versus Cowboys is a good game.
Eagles are going to blow the Cowboys out of the bloody water.
Oh yes.
I'm not sure they will.
Sorry,
okay, Micah Parsons is back. That's the only good thing. But
I think the Eagles will win, but I think the Cowboys will be up for this game. I know they don't have Dak, but Cooper Rush is an okay backup.
Is Cooper Rush starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think the Eagles' defense is any good at all. I think it might as well be made of paper mache, to be honest. So I think it could be closer than you guys think. I know Saquon is a beast, but I still think it's going to be close. But I think the Eagles will win.
Like I said a minute ago, the only good news for the Cowboys is Micah Parsons is supposedly back this week. But the offense is toothless. They can't run the ball. The Eagles' pass rush is going to have a field day, because the Dallas have always prided themselves on having a really, really good O-line, but always having one of the best O-lines in the league. But they can't run the ball. I don't know if that's because they've got C-grade, D-grade running backs, or
Dowdle played well last week.
Yeah, but then he's not. Dallas have always had running backs that can run 150, 1,500-yard seasons. They haven't had that for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the issue, because all you got to do is, right, CeeDee Lamb's out as well. All you got to do is get to the quarterback, and Cooper Rush isn't as mobile as Dak is. He will find it incredibly hard against that pass rush. But yes. Shano, very quickly, my friend, over to your specials.
Very quickly, thank you very much. Yeah, so me and my beautiful baby Hope will be coming in on this segment of the show, Shano's Specials. Please gamble responsibly, as we say every week. These odds are now currently with Paddy Power. Baby called one to my attention earlier on for the game tonight between my beloved Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The bet is as follows. Jamar Chase to get 80-plus receiving yards, Rashad Bateman 25-plus receiving yards, and new Ravens acquisition Deontay Johnson with 3-plus receptions is 15-2 with Paddy Power. We didn't see much of Deontay Johnson against the Broncos last week, so I think he should sort of figure into Harbaugh's plan this week due to the fact that the Bengals are better, and of course you can't discount out Jamar Chase at all. Bateman's been playing well. This to me is his breakout season. He's been playing far more up to his potential. So I don't think 50 is a bad bet. What do you reckon, baby?
I'm on it.
Yeah, you're on it. Okay.
I wasn't sure. And
you do it. He's on it.
I sent it to you because I wasn't sure, but when you liked it, I am on it.
I think I should be. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing as well. I think that's a really good bet. That's 15-2. So I'll take us over to Munich then for the Giants and Panthers game, 2:30. They kick off on Sunday. I'm just going for a anytime touchdown scorer, and I mentioned his name earlier on, Malik Neighbors for the Giants. It's 13-10 to score anytime. He's been their number one offensive weapon in New York with a pretty poor offensive display, all things considered. But yeah, I think he's in number one. I think he can probably get on the board, but 13-10, baby. What do you reckon on that one?
I think if anyone is going to score for New York, it probably will be Neighbors.
Yeah.
But for that game, personally, I like Chuba Hubbard for the Panthers.
Oh, okay. What's the odds on that one? Do you have it there in front of you?
I don't know. I don't have the odds on there in front of me.
Okay, yeah.
But
What's the odd? Have you got the odds of Wanda Robinson? Because I think that could be a good show.
let me look. I've got Paddy Power open in front of me.
Of course you have. Of course you have. It's probably one of your favorite tabs, I expect, along with other things which we won't mention.
Just looking. Chuba Hubbard is 11-10.
Yeah.
Wandale Robinson is 11-4.
So 3-1, yeah.
The favourite is actually Tyrone Tracy Jr. at 5-6.
I saw that.
Wow.
Who I believe is the Giants running back.
He is.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
I got one more. I got just for one more, which because I was led to believe the show would be named after this gentleman returning to the field once he's come out of the practice window. Christian McCaffrey apparently returns to the Niners offense this weekend against the Tampa Bay
World famous 49ers.
Sorry, my apologies, Philip. Score anytime, 4-11. Baby, what do you think about that one? Because that's quite big odds. But then it's also Christian McCaffrey.
Yes. So Christian McCaffrey is apparently not going to be on a snap count or anything like that. He's going to be full go. He scores most games. We don't know how rusty he's going to be because I literally don't know, but I would think he's going to play most snaps. So, but 4-11, I mean, unless you're going to put it in a multiple.
Yeah, but it's, as I said, that's one of those things. It's like, again, what is where grass is green, Newcastle lose and Christian McCaffrey scores. It's more obvious things.
And yet we win, and we're in the next round of the League Cup, so I don't really understand that.
Well done for your League Cup progression. Well done.
Oh, wait.
So as I said, that's my specials for the week. Please gamble responsibly. OBH, back to you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on Apple Podcasts. Finally sorted out.
Yeah,
so we are now on Apple Podcasts, so you can download us on that one. As always, we'll be back on Monday night to review this week's actions and review everything that's gone on. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Good night and stay safe all.